First one is preparation of hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2. This is a liquid which is colorless and is soluble in water. Oxygen to oxygen bond length is 147.5 picometer in gas phase. Hydrogen peroxide is a very good oxidizing agent as well as the reducing agent. Why is storing hydrogen peroxide so important? Hello my dear students, welcome back to the last session on the chapter hydrogen. Last class we learnt about water, chemical properties of water as well as hard water and soft water and how to soften the hard water, isn't it? Today we learn about hydrogen peroxide and heavy water. Okay. So first one is preparation of hydrogen peroxide, that is H2O2. We call it as hydrogen peroxide. More about structure of hydrogen peroxide I shall explain. Okay. First we learn about the preparation. First method is you take barium peroxide and acidify with H2SO4 to form barium sulfate, water and hydrogen peroxide is formed. Remember, it is belonging to inorganic chemistry, this particular chapter, isn't it? Thus, your equations should be balanced chemical equations. If you do not balance the equation, it is equal to not writing it at all. Okay, you will not get any marks if the balancing is wrong. Please take care to write and practice all of these equations. Okay, and also learn to balance. Next method is from peroxo disulfate. That is, you can see here there is a peroxide bond, oxygen with oxygen bond, and you have SO3H, SO3H. This is called as peroxo disulfate. Now this one undergoes hydrolysis, that is you are adding water and it undergoes lysis. You will get HSO4 minus H plus ion and hydrogen peroxide is also formed. Okay, that is the second method. Next method is from 2-alkyl anthraquinols. So you take 2-ethyl anthraquinol, treat it with air, you will get hydrogen peroxide and oxidized product, or it reverse if you want, from hydrogen peroxide with the oxidized product, reverse reaction you have to use hydrogen with palladium, you will get 2-ethyl anthraquinol. Okay. So that's about the preparation of hydrogen peroxide. Next we are learning about the physical properties. This is a liquid which is colorless and is soluble in water. In market you can get 30% hydrogen peroxide or 3% hydrogen peroxide. Now what is the meaning of 30% aqueous solution of hydrogen peroxide? It's also called as perhydrol. This 1 ml of 30% hydrogen peroxide will give 100 ml of oxygen at STP. That is the meaning of 30% aqueous hydrogen peroxide. Okay. Similarly, we have 3% aqueous H2O2 commercially marketed as 10 volume hydrogen peroxide. Okay. Next one is shape of hydrogen peroxide. It is having a non-planar structure. It is not on the same plane. You can see one plane is like this and the other plane is perpendicular. Okay. Or the angle you can see, it's not exactly perpendicular, you can see there is a different angle. What happens with hydrogen peroxide is, in gas phase its structure is different and in solid phase the structure is different. That is a small change in angle and bond length we can see. That is, you have peroxide bond and here you have hydrogen and one hydrogen like this. So you can see the hydrogen oxygen bond length is 95.0 picometer and oxygen to oxygen bond length is 147.5 picometer in gas phase, whereas in the solid phase, oxygen to hydrogen it is 95.8 and oxygen to oxygen it is almost the same, it is 147.8 picometer. Whereas angle, if you see, this angle is perfectly same, but here the other angle, that is the plane which is there, okay, that angle changes, that is 111.5 degree and here it is 90.2 degree. So that is the structure of hydrogen peroxide in gas phase and in the solid phase. Okay. Next is chemical properties of hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is a very good oxidizing agent as well as the reducing agent. So first we learn about the oxidizing property. Hydrogen peroxide, when it is treated with acidified FeSO4, that is ferrous sulfate, it gets converted into ferric sulfate. You can see ferrous sulfate acidified, that's why we have H2SO4, and hydrogen peroxide you will get ferric sulfate and water. So acidified ferrous sulfate is getting converted to ferric sulfate. Okay. Next, when lead sulfide is treated with hydrogen peroxide, we get lead sulfate and water, or Fe plus 2 ions get converted to Fe plus 3 ions, Mn plus 2 ions get converted to Mn 4 plus ions in basic medium. You can see how ferrous ion with hydrogen peroxide it forms ferric ion, as well as Mn plus 2 ions is getting converted to Mn plus 4 ions when it is treated with hydrogen peroxide, and this is in the basic medium. Okay, you can see here OH minus, basic medium. Fine. Next is about the reducing property of hydrogen peroxide. Potassium permanganate gets converted into manganese sulfate in acidic medium when it is treated with hydrogen peroxide. You can see the reaction here, KMnO4 with H2O2 acidified, that is H2SO4 is there, it gets converted to potassium sulfate, K2SO4, MnSO4, water and oxygen gas is liberated. Okay. Similarly, iodine gets converted to iodide ion. What is it? Iodine to iodide ion in basic medium. So we have iodine, hydrogen peroxide, basic medium, that's why we have OH minus, iodide, H2O and oxygen gas is liberated. So it is a very good which reagent? Reducing reagent also. Okay. Next is about the storage of hydrogen peroxide. How exactly we are supposed to store hydrogen peroxide? Why is storing hydrogen peroxide so important? Because hydrogen peroxide, when it is exposed to air, okay, it will just decompose to form water and oxygen is liberated. It can be catalyzed with presence of small dust particles or any metal surface or any alkali is present also, this reaction can be catalyzed and the process becomes even faster. To stabilize hydrogen peroxide, they add a small amount of urea and it is stored in plastic vessels in dark. Only then it will remain as hydrogen peroxide for a very long time. Okay. Next is uses of hydrogen peroxide. The first use is, it is used as an antiseptic, that is to clean wounds, surgical instruments and also for gargling. Haven't you used any time at home? Especially when there is a wound, they add hydrogen peroxide and you can see that oxygen is liberated, or you can see some bubbles which is coming around. That is because it is having the antiseptic property. Okay. Next is, it is used for hair bleach and as a mild disinfectant. As an antiseptic, it is sold in the market as perhydrol. Okay. Antiseptic name it is perhydrol. It is also used for bleaching hair. Okay. It is used in manufacture of many chemicals like sodium perborate and percarbonate, which is used in preparation of high quality detergents. Also it is used in synthesis of hydroquinone, tartaric acid, certain food products, and also it is used in pharmaceutical, that is cephalosporin is produced using hydrogen peroxide. Also, it is used as a bleaching agent in textile, paper pulp industries as well as leather oil industries. Next, it is used in environmental or green chemistry, that is to reduce the pollutant. Okay, that is for sewage treatment we can use this. Also, it is used in treatment of domestic and industrial effluents, oxidation of cyanides, restoration of aerobic conditions to sewage treatment can be done using hydrogen peroxide. So, these are some of the uses of hydrogen peroxide. Next, we have about heavy water. Heavy water is called as D2O. Continuously, if we electrolyze water, we will get hydrogen gas at cathode and oxygen is formed at anode. But what remains behind is heavy water. That is when continuous electrolysis is happening, and the heavy water has the formula D2O. What are the physical properties? Of course, the high molecular mass compared to that of water, and it has got low dielectric constant. Where is it used? The uses are very important for heavy water. It is used in moderator in nuclear reactors, that is the first use, and then it is used in preparation of deuterium. It is used in preparation of deuterium compounds, that is calcium carbide with heavy water, it will give C2D2, that is D stands for deuterium. Okay, SO3 with heavy water gives D2SO4, then aluminum carbide with heavy water will give CD4 and ALOD thrice. Okay, so it is used in manufacture or preparation of deuterium compounds also. Next, we will be learning about dihydrogen as fuel or the hydrogen gas as fuel. Okay, if we take hydrogen gas and if it undergoes combustion, a large amount of heat is liberated. Also, compared to petrol, 3 times more energy is liberated with hydrogen. Okay, that is hydrogen gas. Also, pollutants in combustion of dihydrogen is very less in compared to that of petrol. Also, only pollutant which is possible is oxides of dinitrogen. Why dinitrogen? Because in dihydrogen, nitrogen is present as impurity. Thus, hydrogen can actually be used as fuel. More about it we learn in hydrogen economy. What is hydrogen economy? Hydrogen can be used as an alternative for source of energy, and thus it is called as hydrogen economy. Why only hydrogen? What is the advantage of using hydrogen as a fuel? Now, can we transport nuclear energy? No. Can we store electric energy for a very long time for the automobile to run? No. So, hydrogen can be stored as well as it can be transported. So, what are the advantages of using hydrogen as a fuel? That is, it is available in abundance, that is as in a combined form as what? Water. It is available in abundance. Next, on combustion it is producing water which is pollution free. Also, it gives more power in hydrogen oxygen fuel cells. Also, it is an excellent reducing agent, therefore it can be used as a substitute for carbon in reduction processes in industries. So, this is the advantage of using hydrogen as fuel, which we are learning under hydrogen economy. But there are also some of the disadvantages. The first one is hydrogen is explosive and it is difficult to store and transport. You can store and transport, but what happens? It is highly explosive. So, risk factor is very high. Also, formation of hydrogen from water is a very expensive process. So if you have to get hydrogen from water, we have to electrolyze them. So this becomes a really expensive process. So this is the only disadvantage of using hydrogen as fuel. So I hope you have understood the chapter hydrogen. Next class, I'll be starting with a new chapter, that is S block elements. So thank you, my dear children. See you next class. Stay tuned, stay focused.